Hello everybody, in this tutorial I'm gonna show you how to create the deformations for our exploding cars, and I'm gonna show you several ways to achieve these deformations. So first of all, we need to define where exactly these deformations need to happen. That's why we need to watch carefully which part of the car touches the ground first. So let's see with jumps, and this is the part which touches the ground first. So the first deformation needs to be here, and then the side, but the side doesn't need to be too much because it's just rolling, and also these parts. So the first big deformation happens here. Oh no, wait, but the first deformations need to happen here because it explodes somewhere here, and it's a big explosion, such as it throws the car up. So these parts needs to be deformed first, and then the car touches down like this. So these parts needs to deform, and then entire left side of the car needs to deform, but not so much. Okay, so we defined our positions for deformations. Now let's define the timings. So the first deformation here is going to happen just on the frame 1. Okay, so to create deformations we have I know 2 ways, but maybe there are more than 2 ways to do it. I'm doing it like this. So I'm copying it, and here is what I'm gonna do. We can take the vertices of this area, or we can do it with the freeform key. So, but actually it's better to do it with the Morpher rather than vertex animations. So we can do it like this, and quickly I'm gonna show you how to create this, but we're gonna work it with the Morpher. So we select the vertices we need, and we give keyframes to this vertex, and we go to the frame that we need, and we move these vertices like this, and we deform it, and it behaves like normal animation. It deforms, as you see. We can do it this way, or we can do it more other way. So let's delete this one and copy it one more time, but this time we don't need to use this AutoKey now. We just need to deform this area just like it should deform when it's gonna explode. Like, the bad part of this freeform deform tool, that it's when, for instance, I'm gonna work like this, it's gonna deform these polygons too. That's why I need to hide some of the polygons when I'm working with this. So let's select these parts which we don't need to deform and hide them, but not these ones. Okay, and now I'm gonna hide selection, and now I can easily deform it with the freeform tool. But remember that you can't add any polygons or any vertices to this object, because the vertex numbers of this copy car needs to be exact identical to the first original car, or else it won't work. So let's say we are happy with the result. And now let's unhide all. Okay, now what we're gonna do? We're gonna select our original car, and we're gonna add the modifier called Morpher. So the Morpher does what? We can pick, these are the elements, and we can add as many as we want. Currently we have one copy, and let's pick object from the scene and click to the second object we created. Okay, and if the vertex numbers are incorrect, or you have made changes, add something, remove something, you won't be able to pick this object because the vertex numbers won't be identical. Okay, so after picking this, we can hide this. We don't need it anymore. Now what can we do? So let's isolate this to be able to see clearly. So we have numbers here. Currently it's 0, but we can make it higher, and as we make it higher, we see deformations happening. So this is our first deformation, and we're gonna change it right when I start animation. And now let's add our second copies and third copies and add deformations there. So let's copy this and make it 2, one for this part and other for this left and upper part. So let's delete this morpher, this one too. So this is going to be our original car. So let's change the names to be able to see it, which part of the car it deforms. So it's going to be the rear left deformation, left deformation, and this is going to be the side and upper deformation. So let's wait for the autosave finish. Side up deformation. Okay. So let's isolate and start working on this. So let's see where exactly it's touching. This part. Okay, so let's add deformations to this part. Okay, I guess it's okay. And isolate, and let's choose the second one and pick the second object, and we see the name. Now we can hide it. So let's quickly animate this. So let's open the auto key and choose it like this, and then go one frame back and make it 0. Actually, we can make it like this. So in the 47th frame it's 0, in 48 it's gonna be like this, and on the 49th we can make it 100. So let's see how it looks like. Well, actually this car touches down like this, so we doesn't see a lot of deformations. The first deformations that we're gonna see is this part. Now let's animate it too. Let's make it like this. And the second we make it 100. Also we need to deform our doors actually, because when it deforms the door stays same. It can't be like this, so we're gonna add it later. Now let's work on the deformations on the side and the left, side and the top. So it's like this and this. Actually we can create one for the side and one for the top. That would be much better and much correct results. So we turn off our auto key and duplicate this and change the name that it's the up deformation, and this is the side deformation. Okay, so let's deform our side. And actually you need to be creative on this process. You need to know at least how it's gonna behave when it deforms. You're gonna watch the crash test. You need to learn how the metal behaves when it crashes. Okay, and now let's unisolate and pick this one. Now we're gonna deform the top part. And the best part of this morpher is that you can change the value. For instance, if you animated it too much, you can decrease the numbers and still achieve the good results with this. So I guess it's fine now. Okay, the side and top. So we're gonna add this two, and then we can hide them. Okay, now let's now this part, like from the 64, we need to add side deformations keys, and then on the frame 72 it needs to be 100. No, it's not this one, the side deformations. So when it turns, it gets deformed. Great, and now from the 120, we start animation of this top part, and we're gonna finish the deformations on the frame 140 or 41. It doesn't matter this much. So let's turn off the edged faces and see how it looks. Okay. So now we need to animate the doors, deform the doors. So let's hide the doors and see again. As we see, it gets deformed really bad. And because of the doors, we couldn't see. And if the doors get deformed too, it's gonna look much better. Okay, so let's do it. Let's unhide all. Oh no, let's go back and unhide by name. Actually, we can do it Control Z to turn back. Let's see what's the name. Door right back and door right front. Okay, let's duplicate both of them and start the form. So it's the frame 1 and frame 2 when the animations is over. So we can hide this, or we can do it like this. We can delete them. We can take them as a clones. Copy. And now we can do like this. We don't need to move them. We just take the car and the doors and isolate them both. And now we're gonna deform them on exact this place, because we need to know how exactly the car itself deforms, so that we can deform the doors in the right way. So let's select this freeform move tool and start deforming. Doors needs to be deformed much more, with much more strength than the car itself, because it's not hard as chassis itself. Okay, we're gonna deform it like this, and then take another one and start deforming it. Okay, you got the idea. So we do like this. We take these doors and end isolation, and then we pick the original doors and isolate them. And then we're gonna pick the original door, and add again the Morpher deformation animation modifier, and then pick the original, pick the deformed, and then animate them. Like this. and we're gonna do the same with the second one. So where's the morpher? Like this. Now we can hide the deformed ones, and now we got what we need. So let's end isolate and go back, see how it looks. Looks not so bad. And after we add dust and debris, it's gonna look like much better. So depending on your car and depending on how your car moves, you can add deformations in the different places. Also, I'm gonna add deformations to the cars, these doors. You're gonna deform these parts. So let's clone them, just like we did with other doors. Clone, and now let's take our car and isolate it. Also, we need to select ground, or we can add the plane manually to see where the ground is. And so this is the part. So I'm gonna take this move tool and go back, go like this, and start deforming. Also, this part needs to be deformed as well. So we do the same with this car, with this door. Okay, we're done with this, so let's end isolate and delete the plane we created. Now we need to select only doors. Original one and deformed one. Let's select this one and add Morpher. Pick deformed one and add, and then we're gonna make animations when we hide the deformed ones. So this is the straight one. No, I guess I didn't choose the right one for this. And there's a weight, we have one original and one deformed. Okay, so let's add Morpher and pick deformed. Now we can end this and hide these deformed ones. Okay, now we need to animate it on the frame 46. Let's make it 1. This and 100 in here, but on frame 45 we need to make it 0. So it's like this, deforms like this and breaks down. Let's do the same with this one, so it touches the ground on the frame 47. So we increase animation, increase the number here, and then we make it more, and it breaks. And 46, we need to make it 0. Okay, I guess it's fine now. Let's see. Good. Let's have a look from the different sides how it's gonna look like. Let's make it slow motion and see the animation. Let's see how doors are deformed. I guess they look good. So I hope you understand the concept of deformations, and hope it helps you to create more creative animations and car crashes. And see you soon. Bye.